Hi folks, let me ask you a question. Is everyone a geographer? Previously, I have raised the question about whether a travel column would look different authored from the perspective of a geographer or a geospatial professional versus a column authored from the perspective of a journalist. Maybe it's because I, and maybe you, spend so much time on airplanes looking at these travel columns. I stated earlier that some similarities surely exist, but there are likely to be some key differences. This discussion raises a larger issue. Are all travel writers really geographers? Are all travelers essentially geographers? And more broadly, with the advent of easy-to-use geotechnologies that have enabled the general public to use many of the same tools and data that were formerly only used by GIS specialists, for example, ordinary smartphones, does that mean that everyone is now a geographer? Gosh, I remember not too long ago, but it actually was 2 decades ago, I used to come home from work at the USGS. Ooh, I looked at aerial photos all day at work. Well now, in the span of the time that you've been watching this video, how many millions of aerial photos and satellites have been accessed by the general public? Orders of magnitude difference.
In the new book, Practicing Geography, my colleagues and I wrote a chapter that asks this very question. These new capabilities reinvoke inherent tensions between the integrity of the field of geography as a discrete academic discipline on the one hand and its generalist appeal on the other hand. Although this tension within geography is not new, indeed William Morris Davis reacted to it over 100 years ago, I contend that geography has never been more prominent within the everyday human experience than it is today. I also contend that geography is a three-legged stool. One of the legs of the stool represents deep and rich content knowledge that has accumulated across the millennia, but is also forward-looking, envisioning how the world could and should be. The content knowledge includes that about specific places, processes, and phenomena. Another of the legs represents geographic skills, working with scale, maps, imagery, databases, graphs, space and time, movement, dispersion, field work, regions from cultural regions to ecoregions, different perspectives, human-environment interaction, interpreting the past and present and planning for the future, and many more. The skills are used in low-tech and high-tech situations, ranging from interpreting paper maps to operating field probes and performing geoprocessing operations within a GIS environment. The last leg represents the spatial perspective, the unique place-based framework that all geographers bring to any problem that they examine. The spatial perspective is holistic. It is systems-based. What are your thoughts about this topic? Isn't everyone a geographer? And what about the increasing number of professionals outside who are incorporating spatial thinking and GIS into their work in business, history, mathematics, design, biology, engineering, and other fields? Are they geographers? Do they need to be geographers? If not, what geographic content knowledge, skills, and perspective do they need to have in order to be effective in their own fields? Thanks.